Hello, everybody. I'm Jeremy Ems from Property Inspection Manager, and I just want to say thank you ever so much to everybody that's on this webinar at the moment. I've seen quite a long list of names on the side, including one that's named Doom. I'm hoping that that's not prophetic and it's not Dr. Doom in the background who's about to start doing some weird stuff. But anyhow, welcome. It's a very nice sunny day in Western Australia. I can see people coming on screen now, so that's good. What I would like to do today is probably about the third or fourth webinar we've done around our integration with Cirrus8. And we are constantly working with Cirrus8 to improve the integration, the workflows, and the functionality. So what I was going to really focus on today is the latest enhancements. And I'll just take you through a quick, sorry, just bear me 1 second, a quick run through what we're going to do today. Request for you. I can see that everybody at the moment has got cameras off and microphones off, but if you don't mind keeping it that way, that would be superb. Just because the less background noise, the better in some regards. If you have got a question, there is the chat feature within Zoom. And it would be great to ping questions as we go through to Nikki, who's in the background, who may open the door and say, Jez, you've forgotten something, or here's a question that you need to cover off. So if you wouldn't mind, microphones off. I don't mind a few cameras on as well, because then I can see faces. But definitely use that chat feature for asking any questions. Depending on the timing of things today, I may also open it up for questions at the end if anybody wants to. But also you will have my mobile number if you want to give me a call and have a general chat. The other thing I was just going to mention as well is, unusually for me, I'm going to do some work within Cirrus8 today. So I'm going to start off with Cirrus8 and go into the console, then go into PIM and then go back in. Without being funny, I'm not 100% proficient on Cirrus8. That's not my core thing, but I'm going to show you how all this hangs together. So essentially what I want to cover off today is how to schedule inspections within Cirrus8. I know we've done this before, but there have been some changes and there have been some improvements in the way that you can schedule. And that means that you can actually schedule your inspections within Cirrus8 against a lease and also against the property. And it was becoming increasingly evident, particularly with the last couple of years, that there were vacant buildings, lots of property managers who are conducting common area reports on an asset, not necessarily looking at the lease. And so that was an important enhancement to have. So what I'm going to go into is how to set up an inspection and the options that you have in there. Now, we've also very recently been able to improve the type of inspection that you are going to schedule within Cirrus8. So historically, you would just schedule an inspection. Now you can actually schedule a condition report, and we call it condition. But that can be your entry, exit, make good, whatever terminology that you use. But it's there for when a tenant moves in and when somebody moves out to make sure that it's covered off in the correct way to ensure that everybody knows what's going on, who's responsible for this, that, and the other regarding the state of the condition of the property. The next thing is we've been getting a lot of requests and feedback. Again, particularly, I would say over the last year and a half, as we've started to work with some of the larger commercial property management businesses, it turns out, surprise, surprise, that inspections can be a little bit off ad hoc, we're calling them. And that means that people aren't actually scheduling an annual inspection. That's the only time they go on site. There could be all sorts of reasons for a drop-in to either visit a tenant or to look at a property. It could be to do with an incident. It could be to do with maintenance. It could be the fact that you're actually driving down the street in that area and you want to pop in. But what we've created is this new, I call it a catch-all, lightweight inspection template that allows you to capture comments and photos and push them back up into Cirrus8. So you've got a professional light report that allows you to capture what you've done and push it back up to Cirrus8. Bear in mind that what we always say is Cirrus8 is a central source of truth. This gives you more flexibility. So now you can conduct your ingoing inspections, your outgoing inspections and your exits, your routine periodic inspections, and also those having to go in and do something very quickly at short notice stuff as well. So it's a real nice enhancement in what we're doing. The other thing is I would like to go over again how to raise work requests when you're out doing an inspection, because that too seems to be a bit of a good thing that people are liking. So when you're out on the site, you're doing your stuff, you see something that needs to be rectified or needs somebody to look at in more depth, or to actually just get out and fix it. You can raise a work request, push it back up into CirrusFM, into the work requests queue in CirrusFM, and then somebody, either yourself when you're back in the office, or yourself when you're online to CirrusFM, or an assistant back in the office can actually take it to the next stage. So without more ado, I'm going to go into, I'm going to leave this one here, and I'm going to go into, I didn't really want to do that, but there we go. I'm now going to go into Cirrus8. So, okay, Cirrus8, I'm just going to move this across here a little bit so it's out of the way. So what I'm going to do to kick off with is just go through the process of scheduling inspections and show you the additional buttons and what's going on. So what I can do is I can go into properties or leases, and I can schedule an inspection. I'm just going to go into properties first. I'm going to find a property. I think if I go into Hampton, yes, I've got Hampton House down here. And in this toolbar underneath here, I've got inspection. So this takes me down to my inspections area. Okay. These are my upcoming inspections, and this is where I schedule my inspections. So I am going to actually schedule inspection now and show you how it all works. So I can choose a date. I'm going to choose a date of tomorrow, Wednesday. I can select the frequency of that inspection, whether it's monthly, annually, semi-annually. I can override it and just make it a one-off in a second. I'm just going to put this as an annual inspection. I can then select the inspection type. And what we've added in here is whether it's a condition report for your entry, your exit, make good, or a routine inspection. So I'm going to set this one up as a routine inspection. And then I have another choice to make. And that choice is, what template do you want to use? So bear in mind that we have within PIM smart property profiles, and I'll show you that when I go into PIM in a second. But you can set up property profiles that are reflective of the types of inspections that you do, or the types of assets that you've got within your portfolio. These are our standard ones. And what that means is that you've got in here small offices, you've got restaurants. We have also added, as a standard part of the feature set, a common area report. So if you're carrying out an inspection on a regular basis on lift areas, foyers, car parks, toilet facilities, etc., that is an ideal template to use. The other one that we've added in here is the ad hoc profile. So I'm just going to add one in here. And the ad hoc profile is a smart profile that actually just adds 4 areas into your inspection, but you can change it to whatever you want. And that is when you go out to a property and you just want to capture some notes from a quick meeting or for a reason for going in there. So I've got the date of my inspection, I've got the frequency, the type of inspection, the template I've chosen, and then I add that inspection to my list. It then says, how far forward do you want to go to? So in there, you can put, if it's a 5-year lease, you can schedule it for every month or whatever makes sense. Or you could do it as a single ad to override. I'm just going to put it in as a single ad. Now, with the ad hoc profile, which is the lightweight one, sometimes you're going to do an ad hoc inspection, get called out without being able to schedule it within Cirrus8. So at this stage, what we're advocating is create an ad hoc profile, create an ad hoc inspection within the system, import it into PIM, and then it's available for you just in case you do need to conduct an inspection of that type when you're out there, and then it will push back up into Cirrus8. I'll show you what I mean in a second, but essentially we have guides and we can provide you with guides around this. But what you can do is just have ad hoc inspections in your list in your PIM that you can pull on and use when you're out on site, and then push that information back up into Cirrus8. So I've done this one against the property. I'll also do one up here against the lease. I'm just going back up to the top. I'm going to go into the lease area. I'm going to look in here for a property. That property I'm going to do again, Hampton House. The lease is against that. I'm going to choose this Beat and Bun one. I'm going to whiz down to where I do my inspections, and I'm going to schedule inspection for, again, I'll do this one for Friday. I'm going to do it as an annual. I'm going to select this one as a condition report, and I'm going to put this against a small office profile. I'm going to add it, single add, and that should now be available for me to pull into PIM and do my inspection. So I've got a few options in there now. I'm ready to go. I'm going to come out of Cirrus8. I'm going to change my screen, so just bear me 1 second. Let's bring up my iPad and PIM. So I'm just going to change over, share it to here. Give me 2 seconds while it goes onto my screen. There we go. Right, so I'm going into PIM, and for those of you who haven't actually seen this before, I'm going to very quickly show you a couple of things, but I'm going to go straight into doing some inspections. So in PIM, on the left-hand side is where your inspections that are scheduled to be conducted will appear. On your right-hand side, your settings, where you can configure and tailor the app. In here, you've got import, which is where you bring in your scheduled inspections. And in the PIM help desk is where you have the resource self-help guides, asking questions, and the ability to contact us. So the first time you set up PIM and you want to actually link your PIM with Cirrus8, you need to ask us to do that for you. And there is a one-off setup fee to do that, as you know. But once you've done that, you can go into your advanced settings. You can scroll down to where it says Cirrus8. You can click on the Cirrus8 connection button to integrate it and enable the integration. And then you can choose to import your scheduled inspections up to 30 days in advance, 60 days in advance, 90 days, or 120. I tend to keep mine down to 30 days, so I don't have loads of inspections in front of me, but the choice is yours. So once I've got that, I'm ready to import my scheduled inspections. I'm going to go to my import screen. I'm just going to delete that file in there. I'm going to pull that one down now. And that's bringing across my scheduled inspections that I have set up and scheduled within Cirrus8. So you can see in here, I've got a few down for Hampton Road. These are the ones that I've just done. But you can see I've got the address of the property. This one here is the one that I set up against the lease. It's brought across a profile of a small office, and it's set the inspection type as a condition report. So I'm going to just touch on that one. I'm going to import that in. The other one that I've done under here, again, is on Hampton Road, but this is an ad hoc one. So this has just created it against the property. It's created an ad hoc profile. It's put the owner name in there. I'm going to tick that, and I'm going to bring it into my PIM. Continue. Okay, so now I go into my inspections. I'm going to start off with this ad hoc inspection, because that's the new thing, which I think is going to be interesting for you. So if I go into here, I've got the address details of the property. I've got the owner details. If the owner's phone number was in there, that would come across as well, and email address. Now that data, if you're using your iPhone to conduct your inspection report, you'll be able to phone directly from the app, so you don't have to hunt and gather. I'm not sure if I've actually shown you this before, but you'll see in the top right-hand corner, there's actually access to Google Maps as well. So that takes you through to the map, it locates the property, and you can get your directions from that too. I'm not going to jump into it at the moment, so I don't want to lose the screen, but you've got that little bit of functionality in there too. So I'm going down to the bottom of the screen and it says tap to start my inspection. What I've got here, you'll see there are only 4 areas. And if I go across, what we've set the ad hoc inspection up as is these areas allow you to capture why you're there, what happened, what are the things that you need to sort out, are there any specific actions from the meeting, and any additional meeting notes that you want to capture as well. Now, with the way that this works, we've now created a smart template in the background. And instead of having your full inspection template with a table of rooms, you've literally got whatever areas you've got in here will go into the report as a call out in the inspection. So the driver for this, as I mentioned previously, was sometimes we have to go on site to discuss a maintenance issue. Sometimes we have to go on site to discuss an incident. Sometimes an owner will say, hey, can you just come and meet me on site? I want to chat to you about something. So you can basically put anything into here and it will go into your inspection report. So the reason I mention that is I may want to make this, for example, I'm going to add another area in here. I want to make it, put in an area for discussions with tenants while I'm out there. Press done. So that can go into my list of areas for me to capture notes and photos against, and it will go into the report. If you want to, you could use this for if you're doing a meter reading or anything you want. But basically, you can create this inspection report to suit the type of stuff that you're capturing. So I'll quickly go into here. Reason for visit. On this occasion, somebody has tripped over a loose wire walking down the corridor, and the owner of the property has asked me to attend and create an incident report. Okay, so matters arising. It looks like we will need to talk to the insurers as there is potentially a claim coming in. Fortunately, the person that fell over is not too badly injured, but they want looking after. Actions. Raise incident report. And then the other things that I can do is just add some photos in there. So meeting notes. Wire was laid across the pathway and somebody tripped over it. And then I can take some photos. So, oh, there you go. Super. I've got my wire on the ground. I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to edit this photo as well. So I'm going to highlight where the issues were. So I'm going to add some squiggles. I'm going to add some notes on here as well. Wire has come loose from the wall and needs reaffixing. I don't even know if that makes sense, but there you go. I'll put that in there. Done. Okay. So I'm going to use that photo. Press done. I've got my photo in here. Now, what I can also do is while I'm on site, I can go to that photo. I can choose to select that photo, and you'll see down here that I've got a bar with a little action button. If I press on there, it says, hey, do you want to send a work request with photos to Cirrus8, which actually goes to CirrusFM? And I do. So I press that and it says, what's going on in here? There is a loose wire in the corridor that needs reaffixing to the wall. And I can tap to set a priority, critical, press done, and that will now go up to CirrusFM and go into the work request queue. Okay, so I've done that. So what you can see I've done there is I'm actually I'm creating my report. I'm just going to get rid of this tenant discussion thing, so I'm not going to use it. So I'm creating my report, but I've also created a work request while I'm on site. Now, if I go back to my home page and I go into here, I can preview my inspection and just see what it looks like. So what we've done in the background now is, as I say, we've got these smart templates that say, hey, is it a normal inspection type or is it the ad hoc inspection? So this should come up, and it has, thank the stars, as an ad hoc inspection. It's got an introductory copy in here. These are things that you can change and customize. It's got the areas associated with my visit. So why was I there? What's going on? What needs sorting? Anything else I need to know about? And it's got the pictures behind as well. And if I'm happy with that, I can now submit that back up into Cirrus8. So that should go up into Cirrus8 in a second. Yep, uploaded into there. I'll view that one later. Okay, right, the next thing. I'm just going to have a quick look at my Hampton Road property condition report. So as you can see, I've created that within Cirrus8 and scheduled it. I've got the details of the property. I've got the details of the tenant, and you can see that it's actually changed the inspection type to a property condition report. So that should have down in here all the different rooms associated with that restaurant profile. And it's got all the sub-inspection areas as well. Okay, so as it's a property condition report, you do have the choice. And I have noticed this with a few of our clients, that when they're doing property condition reports, not everybody wants to do ceiling, walls, light fittings, every single sub-inspection area associated with that area, but they do want to have visibility of what they should be looking at and be able to put pictures and notes against that area. So your flexibility is there. It's the same as previously. You can go into this, you can change the first time you do your inspection to add any areas that you need. So in this instance, I also need to add a mezzanine area. I press done. It appears at the bottom of my list. I move that to wherever it needs to go to, which is just over the office area. So I can move my stuff around. I can get rid of things that I don't need. I don't need these for my property condition report. And once I've done that once, it's saved within PIM for next time. And you can use the property condition report that you do on entry as the basis for your exit inspection as well. So there's a lot of time to be saved in there. Same as before. Now I'm going to just go into this and very quickly put some notes in. I'm just going to put a couple of notes in our nose there. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of photos. One thing that I will quickly show you, which is a good thing as well, is in the top right-hand corner, you'll see that there is access to your photo library. We've also just introduced a choose files thing. And that choose file thing means that you can import photos from other servers, from Dropbox, as well as your photo library. So if you are taking photos or you need to import floor plans or things like that, you've got far more flexibility of being able to construct your report now. So that's a new feature. We're going to be doing a new guide on that shortly, but it's just coming into the system. So on this instance, I'm going to go to my photo library, allow access to all photos. I'm going to go back into here, photo library. Excuse me, these are things that I took yesterday down at UWA. Good to add those to my inspection. Add those 4 photos to my inspection. Yep, I've added those into my inspection. Done. So I would go through my my inspection. I would capture my notes and capture my photos. One thing that I was going to quickly show you here is if you are doing an inspection, click on the notes area. You can see above the keyboard, you've got SIA. SIA is sub-inspection areas. So you can actually press on that and you can see all the things that you should be checking out when you're doing that property condition report. So you don't actually have to go into all the different sub-inspection areas necessarily, unless you want to, but you can have access to, make sure you check all those things. And then if you need to add some notes against it, you can do. So, you know, I could go into here, go into my sub-inspection areas. Oh, I've noticed something with the driveway. Press the driveway, goes up into here, and then I can actually go back in. There is a great big hole. in the middle of the drive, which needs repairing. Drop it in there, take a couple of photos. Also, just remembering, if you look on the right-hand side there, I've got photo and I've got multi. Just in case you weren't aware, if I press multi, I can just press the button and take a lot of photos in quick succession. Okay, so I'll go through my inspection report, just add something down in here. I'll go to my back into here. Okay, so again, I can go back to my top corner. I can preview that inspection. I'll have a quick look, see what it's like. I've just used a standard PIM inspection in here template, so I don't think it's going to be anything too fancy, but you'll get the idea. View it now. Okay, so here's my property condition report. Very straightforward in this instance. I've got no cover photos, but I've got all my photos associated with this inspection behind. Just remember that you can have these templates customized with your branding, but you can also have a nice cover photo with a large photo of the asset on the front for that entry inspection. There we go, I'm happy with that, done. And now I can submit that inspection, and that should push up to Cirrus8. I'll view it later. So here you go, that's uploaded back into Cirrus8. Okay, so what I've got so far is I can do all sorts of different types of inspections now. My ingoings, my outgoings, which are my condition reports. I can do my routine inspections. I can do routine inspections to suit the frequency, whether it's an annual, quarterly, monthly, whatever it may be. And those all get pushed back up into Cirrus8. So I'm going to exit. Stop rendering. I'm going to exit it now. I'm going to go back into Cirrus8. I'm just going to refresh on my screen. Okay, so if things have happened the way they should be, I'm going to go back into my properties. I'm going to go into Hampton House. I'm going to go into inspection. Now, this is where I've got my completed inspections down here. So these are ones that have just been conducted. The date it was scheduled to be done, which is actually tomorrow. I could have changed that. Sorry, I forgot to do that one, but that's me. My inspection type, it's down as a routine. So if I'm looking down a long list of inspections, I can see which are property condition reports and which are routine inspections. I've then got the inspection report here as a download. I can go into that, download it, and I can have a look at it. So I've got one central source of truth, which is Cirrus8. I've got my inspections held in here. I can see my inspection report. There you go, that's what I've just done in there. Okay. If you do not want to use that report, remember PIM does send an email address to your designated email, and that can be sent to you as a Word document and a PDF. You can actually delete that file that's been automatically uploaded, and then you can actually attach a document. So the finalized version can be brought in here as well. And then I believe once you press that, tick that box there, it can be published to the owner of the property. So that inspection report that I've just done was an ad hoc one. It's come back up into Cirrus8. It's in here as a document, ready to be published to the owner of the property. Now I'm going to just go back up into to the top. I'm going to go to leases. I'm going to go into property. I'm going to go to that Hampton House again. Meet and Bun. I'm just going to go down to my inspections down here. Lease inspections. Here's my completed inspections. Oops. Excuse me. What have I done? Okay, so here's my completed inspections. This was the one that I've just completed down here. It was my condition report. So you can see that it's actually added the inspection type when it's been uploaded. I can download that report now. That should be my property condition report for that property. Now, from here, the other thing that I wanted to do was just go back up to the top, bring my screen back in again. There we go. Where I want to go to now is CirrusFM. So while I was on site, I also raised a work request. So if I go into the area in here that says work requests, there should be a list of work requests that have come through. I should be able to click on this one here. And it is, there's a loose wire in the corridor that needs fixing. So if I've got a colleague who's back in the office, they can look at this. If I'm coming back into the office later on, I've got my list of things I can go through. It's already in my list of things to check out. It's got attachments with it as well. So I can go into here. There is a JPEG, and I can either preview it or download it and forward it to somewhere else. So I've got a larger photo, which is separate to the inspection report. It's got the markup that I've done from the editing tools within PIM, and it's been sent back up into Cirrus8. So that's really what I wanted to cover off today. We have got some further enhancements that we're working on at the moment with Cirrus8. And I just want to reiterate, the thing that we really appreciate is that working with Cirrus8, we've got a common focus, and that common focus is to make sure that we provide the best integration to improve the way that commercial property managers work. So it's very much a case of we need to look at what are the user cases, what's going to make a difference to your lives. So I think I always say this, but if you've got an idea or you've got a comment or some thinking that you think would be useful for how we improve things, please don't keep it in. Do give us a ring or email us, get in touch. The other thing is that we are looking at these ad hoc inspections and how to make them simpler to schedule, and also how to potentially give you more flexibility when you're on site to be able to just bring up an asset, create an ad hoc inspection and push it back up into Cirrus8. So watch this space over the next short period of time. I'm going to say weeks, maybe a couple of months, for some further enhancements in there. We're also chatting with Cirrus8 about how to create an on-the-fly inspection using QR codes as well. So it would be really useful to get some feedback from you as to how you might see QR codes working within the workplace environment, and how that could fit into the process too. I can see there's a few questions come through chat, but what I might do is just come out of this screen, because that's all I really wanted to cover today in terms of presenting. So I'm going to stop the share. If anybody does want to jump in and ask a question now, feel free to take off your activate your microphone and ask a question. Otherwise, use the chat, and we'll keep this session open for a little while longer. And you can use chat. But yeah, if there's anything else that you'd like, please get in touch with us. And the other thing is, if you're an existing customer, thank you. If you're not, it'd be lovely to have a chat with you. Look after yourselves and stay well. I'll just keep live for a couple of seconds. If there are any questions, fire away. Otherwise, I shall mute myself and disappear.